Ah, negotiator number 5. Meet the new boss. Same as the old boss.
Jameson was our last negotiator. Trust me, I'm not Jameson.
That's what he said about the one before him. You're all the same to me. I'm over here, you're over here.
Well, let's see if we can't.
You're gonna have to buy me dinner first.
I can do better. You're expecting me to offer you this. You're willing to settle on this. You're praying for this. Well, your prayers have been answered. And I'll even buy you breakfast in the morning.
Not so fast, Blondie.
Prescott Hospitals is hurting as much as anyone else. You push any harder, they're going to go out of business and nobody wins. This is the best you're going to do, and it's a deal you're ready to take.
We were ready, but what about the new account you funded yesterday? Yeah, that's right. I know about it. This isn't my first rodeo.
Then you also know that money's off the table.
Money's fungible. Everything's on the table.
I'm sorry, but that account was funded by donors specifically for the development of new robotics for surgery.
I used to change bedpans for a living, Junior. I know what bullshit smells like.
This isn't bullshit. Even if Prescott wanted to give that money to the nurses, they couldn't, legally.
So they're willing to raise money for equipment, but not nurses. I get it. Nurses are sexy, but nurses aren't sexy. Well, you need to find a way to get us access to that money, or we don't have a deal.
That's not going to happen.
Well, then we're done.
You leave this table, it means only one thing.
I know exactly what it means. We have a fully funded strike fund, and we're going to use it. We reject your proposal. Hey, handsome. Your bearded buddy was already here. You can shut us down for 48 hours, but we can still prepare to strike.
Actually, I came over to extend an olive branch. Why don't you go ahead and start your strike right now? You looked into our finances, I looked into yours. Your strike fund has enough to last a week. We're not even going to have a meeting about it for a month.
We know what we're getting into. We're prepared.
Well, prepare yourself for this. Our last offer is off the table. The new offer is the one we gave you before that. And every day you strike, it's going to keep getting worse.
Harvey, you do realize you just littered, right?
They can pick it up. They're not working. It'll give them a sense of purpose.
Wow. You don't think you're being a little harsh?
I just put an end to a situation our client can't afford, and those nurses can't either. Trust me, they'll cave.
What the hell is wrong with you?
People say I'm emotionally unavailable.
I got us 48 hours and you threw it away.
No, you gave them 2 days to negotiate with the threat of a strike hanging over our heads. I took the only bullet they had out of the chamber.
And now that bullet is headed right at us.
They have an offer in front of them, and they're going to sign it.
You don't know that.
Yes, I do.
Well, you better be right. Because if either one of us picks up the phone right now, we'll be the ones who've caved. And we might as well tell them they can have everything.
Finally, we're on the same page. Welcome to the team.
We're not on the same page. You backed us into a corner.
I didn't do shit. Nell Sawyer put us in that position. I gave her the best offer we could afford.
And if this strike drags on, Prescott goes down, and none of us can afford that.
This strike never would have happened in the first place if I'd gotten an injunction instead of the TRO. By the way, that piece of genius, same idea my associate had. Kid's smart, but he's never been around the block. You have. Stop thinking like a rookie.
You wanted to see me, Mr. Hardman?
Please, call me Daniel. Sit down. First of all, I want to tell you Harvey speaks very highly of you.
He does?
Well, it's Harvey, so you have to read between the lines.
What did he say, that I'm not a complete idiot?
Something like that. He also told me that you and I had the same idea to go after a TRO.
He told me that too.
Why did you think it was the right move?
It put a clock on the negotiations and kept both sides at the table.
I thought so too. But whether I agreed with him at the time or not, I'm not going against him now. But he and I do agree on this point. His decision puts us in a bit of a pickle.
Because we can't go back to Miss Sawyer and ask exactly what she needs to close the deal.
Harvey and I can't.
But I can.
So you are smart.
I'm afraid so.
You'll have to forgive me for not completely trusting Harvey's assessment. But I needed to make sure that our back-channel negotiator was up to the task.
That's why he's not here.
Coach doesn't let Dad come to the tryouts.
What do you need me to do?
They sent you? Which means they're not serious about talking.
Miss Sawyer, please, listen to me. You are on strike, and they are never going to flinch. So what harm is there in talking to me?
Why should I trust you?
Well, that's why I wanted you to meet me here. No, this is my grandmother, Edith Ross.
Hello.
A proud resident of a Prescott nursing home. This is not just another case for me.
Yeah, and he didn't just stick me in here last night to make that point. He locked me in here months ago.
Grammy.
No, easy, Michael. I'm helping you out here. By the way, you're a bit of a hero to my favorite nurse.
Really? Well, that's nice to hear.
He never shuts up about you. I can't take one pill in peace.
Edith, I'm glad you brought up the topic of pills, because I need to give your grandson a little lesson. You mind? Let's see here. Plavix, Zestrol, Agriton, Atenolol. You know what happens when they're not kept straight? Not good. Who do you think does that? Doctors?
Nurses.
Imagine your grandmother's nurse just finished a 15-hour shift. She needs her medicine in exactly 2 hours. They're understaffed. That nurse is going to stay. He won't even sign a time card for it because he won't get paid. But if his name shows up on this chart, he stayed. Happens every day. You ask me what I want enough money so it never happens again.